What's up, man? Hector here from StrongestTech.com. Man, been a little while since I've dropped a how-to/technique episode here on the channel, but I've got a really good one for you. So I've been experimenting with a technique in my own practice, and this is something that I notice is that I've never really seen covered in the kettlebell world. I think this is something that's definitely missing in your training, and you're gonna learn how to apply this to get some pretty good results. I've been getting some pretty good results out of it, and so have the men in the Better Man Mastermind. So, you know, when it comes to kettlebell training, you hear all of the sexy stuff, right? You hear building strength and power and endurance, and you know, you've got fat loss, and you've got all these great things, and those are all great. I talk about that a lot on this channel. I talk about that a lot on my blog, and again, great attributes to build. But there are a few attributes that you don't see covered quite a bit in the kettlebell world, and that's what this lesson is all about, okay? That's what this episode is all about. And that is how to improve your speed, agility, and quickness using 1 or 2 kettlebells, okay? And we're gonna be doing that none other than the pound for pound best exercise in the world using 1 or 2 kettlebells, and that is the Double Kettlebell Jerk that I call the black belt of kettlebell lifts. Swing can't get it done. Clean or snatch can't get it done. Push press maybe. And actually in my Viking push press masterclass is probably the closest exercise that comes to improving speed, agility, and quickness. But there's one component that's missing, and the jerk has that, all right? So let's head on over. I'm gonna show you how to improve speed, agility, and quickness using the double kettlebell jerk, and why, if you are in the combat arts, if you're a grappler, a martial artist, why you need to be incorporating and probably, dare I say, focusing the majority of your strength work with the double kettlebell jerk. Maybe it's an advanced skill, but you're an athlete, and so you need to be using some advanced skills from time to time, all right? So let's head on over, let's break it down, that way I can help you improve your speed, agility, and quickness. Let's get started. All right, so let's get into this. So before I get into the how-tos, the nuts and bolts of how to execute this, I wanna talk about why the double kettlebell jerk should be, man, arguably the center of your attention when it comes to improving strength, endurance, coordination, balance, agility. Why that and not any of the other exercises that you see are kind of like the forefront? You've got the swing, you've got the clean, the snatch, you've got the get up, you've got, you know, the clean and press. All of these are amazing exercises, okay? And I definitely think that you should progress. You should definitely learn how to, you know, deadlift and hip hinge and learn how to swing a kettlebell, learn how to clean a bell, snap. Definitely should learn those and make that progression to the jerk. And that's one of the things that makes the kettlebell superior, in my opinion, to things like the barbell when learning some of the, you know, when we're trying to work on developing power and speed and agility in these types of attributes. There's not a steep learning curve, okay, when you're learning how to snatch a kettlebell versus learning how to snatch a barbell, learning how to clean a kettlebell versus learning how to clean a barbell, et cetera, okay? So the learning curve is not as steep, okay? You don't have to have that really high, you don't need to have that high requirement of wrist flexibility, etc., okay? Which I totally do not lack after years of jiu-jitsu, I totally do not have, and that I lack after years of jiu-jitsu. So here is one of the most important reasons why this should be one of the most important exercises that you should progress to learning in your practice. Now, I'm gonna talk to you really quick from like a jiu-jitsu perspective and why this should be your staple training exercise, not swings, not, you know, get-ups are like vegetables, you should always have get-ups, but why you should work towards progressing to this, okay? The majority of your practice in jiu-jitsu has you in a flexed posture. You're always rounded over, right? So you're always, if you're standing, if you're sitting, and you're playing guard, things like that, you're always kind of like in this flex posture. And that's actually true to a lot of contact sports, right? You look at you know, Muay Thai, and you look at boxing, a lot of it's in this rounded position. And a lot of times these athletes don't leave this posture, okay? So the double jerk forces you into this like thoracic extension. Okay, so it kind of reverses a lot of this rounded position. Okay, so it's going to address a lot of that upper back, a lot of those postural muscles. Okay, and it's going to reverse the damage, okay, the postural damage that your sport can bring to you. Okay, so that's number one. But to me, what I think is most important is the clean and jerk, okay, covers 5 of the 7 fundamental human movement patterns. Okay, so we have hinge, right? So 7 fundamental patterns. We've got hinge, squat, push, pull, carry, rotation, and gait, right? Those are our 7 movement patterns. Well, guess what? The jerk covers 5 of the 7. So if you're a busy guy, right, if you're an athlete and you don't have a lot of time to be training all these attributes, not everybody has time to have a, speed, agility, quickness day, a strength day, an endurance day. Like, not everybody has that. So if you're a busy guy, if you're a dad, if you're a husband, and you're trying to balance all the things life is throwing at you, doing the wife, the kids thing, the career thing, but you know that you want to improve on these things, guess what? You don't have hours, multiple 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a week to get this stuff in. So if you're looking for efficiency, and you're looking for the most efficient way to do things, the jerk answers 5 of those 7 bullet points. It's got the hinge. So you're starting in a hinge position. You're hiking back. So you're in a loaded hinge position. Okay? Boom. Driving. Okay? You got to clean the bell. So you're working on agility and quickness there. Right? So as soon as you're driving, agility is quickly changing directions, right? So that clean, you're producing, reducing, and redirecting force, all in one movement, okay? So you have the hip hinge, and then you've got the clean. So we're getting in some agility and quickness there, okay? Then you've got the squat. It's not a full squat, but it's a quarter of a squat. Okay, so you're addressing the quads, okay? And plus, if you've got bad knees, deep squatting is probably not going to be great for you, right? But you need to work on your quads. Jerks are a good way to do that without getting into that full knee flexion. So you're getting this quarter of a squat, you're loading the quads as you get ready to drive. And then that drive, you're working power. Okay, you're working speed and power, and you're getting into that triple extension. Okay. Once you've done the hinge, you've got the squat. Guess what's next? You got to rack the bells. So for that brief moment, you're racking the bells. You're now carrying. You're carrying the bells. You're supporting the bells. You've got to get tight in the midsection, right? You can't be slouching. Okay, so this is going to improve your posture. So you're carrying. That is a carry. Okay? So we got a racked carry there. Then you've got your push. Oh, also in the hinge, you've got your pull, right? So you've got your hinge, then you've got your lower body pull. So you're getting a pull there. And you're cleaning, so you're pulling in and redirecting, right? So you've got your hinge, pull, and then you've got your quarter squat. That's the third one. You got your carry, that's the fourth one, and then you've got your push. So as soon as you drive, you've got your push overhead, and then you're catching, locking out, and now you're carrying overhead. So you've got 2 carries built in there, okay? 2 carries. So you've got 5 of the 7 fundamental human movement patterns and movements boiled into one exercise. There's not another kettlebell exercise and not a whole lot of other exercises that encompass all of that, okay? Which is why this should be one of your staple exercises. If not, you're working towards this, okay? So now, I want to talk about the speed, the agility, and the quickness component, okay? So again, swing, phenomenal exercise, definitely sets your foundation, okay? Definitely helps build your grips, definitely helps you build powerful hips. We can't dispute that. Right? But it doesn't address thoracic extension and mobility. Okay? The snatch does, because you got to be able to extend here, right? And you got to address overhead mobility. Okay, but you're not really changing directions a lot. The snatch is just one, boom. Okay, with the kettlebell. Barbell, totally different. So it's just one straight shot, and you're definitely working speed and power, but you're missing the agility and the quickness pieces from a full body. You're definitely changing directions by pulling and punching, but you're not really addressing and moving anything else. Okay? Clean, you're getting speed, power. You're getting a lot of that from just the clean itself. So that would probably be like the third. Okay, so you got the jerk, which I think is the first, and which I'll get into the second one here. The third most important one would probably be the clean, because you're getting the hip hinge, you're getting the pull, and you're getting that quick change of direction. Okay, but you're not really addressing thoracic extension. Okay, so that's one piece. So you'll notice each one of these exercises is kind of missing one component. And the jerk addresses almost all these, and it addresses 5 of the 7 fundamental movement patterns. The push press is close, okay? You're getting the hinge, you're getting the pull, you're getting the quarter squat, and then you're getting the drive, okay? But you're not really getting that thoracic extension, and you're not getting the quickness, the agility and the quickness, because you're not changing directions from the upper body, okay? The one that comes in second, and almost a close first, is the Viking push press. In fact, over my shoulder here, I did a master class on the Viking push press, and I break all that down. So the Viking push press, and it's going to tie into what we're talking about today. So the Viking push press is we snatch the bell overhead, and then we start this like pumping motion, okay? And we're kind of pumping these reps out. So you're getting speed and power there for sure. You're getting agility, and you're getting quickness, okay? So you're quickly catching, changing directions, and going right back overhead, okay? But it's missing that big thoracic extension piece, all right? So I'm gonna show you, this is something that I call the Sac Jerk, okay? So speed, agility, quickness, jerk, the Sac Jerk, okay? And so I'm not gonna cover the setup a whole lot. I'm not going to cover the grip a whole lot, okay? Because I covered the setup. I covered the setup in the Viking push press masterclass, and I'm actually working on a full jerk masterclass, which I'll let you know when that's ready. But in the Viking push press masterclass, I address a very unique way to set up that's almost very specific to your hip structure and how to do that. And there's another lesson that I talk about how to get into the differences between the strict press rack and the jerk rack. I cover that in another episode. And I even get into how to grip the kettlebell depending on if you're going with grinds, ballistics, etc. So I cover that, and I'll list that here in the top corner so you can dive into those. But don't click those links yet. Finish watching this video, okay? So I'm just going to get right into it, and I'm going to show you what it looks like, and then you get to give it a try, okay? So your setup, everything like that will stay the same. The only difference here now is we're going to incorporate the speed, the agility, and the quickness piece. And this is something that I've been practicing in my practice now for about 6 months as of making this video. And I kind of played with it actually a couple of years ago, but I never really trained it and practiced it. And so I've really been honing this in, and we've been having some pretty amazing results with this in my own practice and the guys that are going through some of our programming. So I'm just gonna get into it. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to pump out a few reps. You'll get to see what it looks like. And then from there, I'll break down a little bit of why you would want to do this on top of the speed, the agility, and the quickness pieces. Okay, so let's just do it. There you have it. So it looks a lot like the Viking push press, right? So Viking push press, you snatch, you catch, and then power right back up. But with the Sac Jerk, you're hiking, you're cleaning, okay? You do your first jerk, bam. So that's your speed and agility, and your quickness there. Okay, that's stage one. So this is what separates it from snatch, push press, Viking push press, swing, all that, is you've got your speed and power, so it's boom, triple extension, okay? Bells start floating, and then a quick change of direction. So quickness and agility here. In mid-flight, so on the fly, bang, you're driving. In mid-flight, you're quickly changing direction and dropping underneath the weights, standing up. And then the second round of speed, agility, and quickness is catch, but then power right back up overhead. Stand up, catch, power up right back overhead. Okay, so you're catching, harnessing that energy, and then quickly and explosively powering it back up overhead, changing directions and catching. Okay, so number one reason why the jerk should be almost one of your center focuses is, again, covers 5 of the 7 fundamental movement patterns, allows you to focus on speed, agility, and quickness. So now we're building other attributes other than strength, power, muscle building, endurance. Now we're getting some other attributes involved, okay? And obviously, before you get into speed, agility, and quickness training, you need to build a solid foundation of strength. So you would want to make sure that you've got a good amount of volume of just regular jerks, you know, deadlifts, getting a good amount of volume in all those exercises, okay? So we're not dismissing those. But eventually, once you learn how to crawl, it's time to learn how to walk and to sprint, right? As people, we're designed to run and sprint, and those are some of our most dynamic and most powerful expressions of speed and power, right? Sprinting. And that ties into one of the other reasons why you would want to follow this sac jerk style of jerks, because it allows you to sprint with the jerk. Okay, that's one of the, I guess one of the hiccups, not even a hiccup. That's just where it's different from the swing and the snatch, right? The swing and the snatch, you can really empty ATP, creatine phosphate stores by just like, boom, just popping out your swings, popping out your snatches. There's like almost no rest, right? And so what makes it kind of challenging with the jerk is you have the jerk, catch, boom, reset, and then jerk again. So you're kind of pausing. So at no point are you just kind of like hammering and pumping out jerks, just because of the nature of the stopping and the resetting. Okay, so with the sac jerk, you're getting in speed, power, agility, you're getting quickness, okay? But then now you're able to really deplete creatine phosphate, reserves by pumping these repetitions out. So this is going to help you to, with the right programming, this is going to help you to improve your endurance. So if you really want to focus on, building Android-like work capacity, to quote, I think it was Kenneth J that used that, Android-like work capacity, right, and become like a mutant without having to take all these days to train these attributes, all you need is one exercise. And that's what the double jerk, specifically the sac jerk, delivers, okay? That's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to share with you today. This is something I've been practicing. I think you're going to get a tremendous amount of value from this in your practice, okay? So, double jerk covers 5 of the 7 fundamental movement patterns, okay? The attributes that it addresses as well: speed, power, agility, quickness, okay? Catching and then re-jerking, okay? And then in one of the, from a, like a endurance perspective, an endurance standpoint, it allows you to really start to pump out repetitions. And so now you have another way to continue to tweak and boost and improve your endurance. So I'm going to do this one more time to give you one more look at it. And then after that, it's your turn. Okay. And be sure to check out the video in the Viking push press video, where I break down very unique setup, how to find the right position set up for your feet. And there'll be a couple other videos there, like how to use the rack position, how to grip the kettlebell when you're doing the jerk. Be sure to check out those videos as well, and I'll put the links in the description as well. All right, so I'm going to pump out another few repetitions, and then it's your turn. So I was testing out my heart rate doing a training session yesterday. I was like, I'm curious, like, where does this take my heart rate? So from when I started my training, I think my heart rate was at 70 beats. After one set, I was like 150-ish. After like 4 or 5 double jerks. So it's definitely gonna pump up endurance levels because you're repping it out. Okay, so it's a great way to deplete that, to deplete creatine phosphate stores. Okay, so if you want to, now that you know how important this is, why you would want to do this, if you're looking for the right programming to let you know how many repetitions to do for the jerk, to incorporate this into your training, how much volume, what are the rest periods that would help improve my endurance, etc., etc. I'm going to drop a link in the description where you can grab access to my course, Kettlebell Berserk. It's all around the kettlebell jerk and how to progress to the long cycle clean and jerk, all right? Takes you through 4 phases of strength training, and there's actual specific laid out course to take you through all the details, all the ins and outs, specific drills that you should be practicing to hone in your jerk skills. This is one exercise, again, that addresses 5 of the 7 fundamental movement patterns. And now that you have some insight onto the Sac Jerk, how you can use this also to improve speed, agility, and quickness, and constantly improve endurance, and literally become more athletic, move better, stronger, more powerful with one exercise, all right? So that's all I got. If you're liking the video, be sure to subscribe, be sure to give me a thumbs up and click the bell so you can be notified of any new videos that we put up on the channel, all right? And I'm curious, let me know in the comment section which one you like better. Try out the regular jerk, try out the Sac Jerk, and then let me know which feels more natural to you, I guess. The Sac Jerk will feel a little bit weird, but you'll notice that once you kind of get that rhythm and timing down, I think you're definitely gonna be pleasantly surprised with the Sac Jerk. All right, so that's all I got. Hector@strongestech.com with this week's Technique of the Week. Later.